Welcome back to Dmac Mad Gaming. I'm your host Dmac, and here we believe gaming is a lifestyle, not a hobby. Welcome back, guys. And today I want to talk about Nintendo and Microsoft. And the reason why we talk about Nintendo and Microsoft because I've been hearing rumors in the gaming community, in the gaming industry, about the collaboration that they're going to be doing in the future that could shock a lot of us. So I decided to find out what the rumor was. So I went online, did some research, and come to find out Microsoft and Nintendo are doing a big collaboration where Microsoft will be putting the Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass on the Nintendo Switch via app. And a lot of people have been speculating what this could mean for Nintendo and Microsoft and what they're going to be doing going forward in the future as far as gaming in the gaming industry. A lot of people are excited about it, some people are upset, and some people are confused. And I decided to talk about it, give you my opinion about it, give you the pros and cons on what this could mean for us as gamers. So let's get started. So first thing we want to talk about is Nintendo Switch is an amazing device. Nintendo has always made first party exclusives that are amazing, a lot of fun, makes you remember your childhood days of playing video games. And I just recently bought a Nintendo Switch a couple months ago, loving it. I love the versatility of the hardware. I can play it at home or play it on the go, and I think it's awesome. And to be hearing about Microsoft putting the Xbox Live, Xbox Game Pass on a Nintendo Switch, it's a win-win. So I feel like that's a pro. I feel like that's a positive. I mean, it's something that a lot of gamers that have Nintendo Switch and can't afford to get the Xbox One S or Xbox One X can enjoy some of the Xbox One games, 360 games, and original Xbox games on the Nintendo Switch. Now, a lot of people are speculating how they're going to do this with the hardware of the Nintendo Switch. Well, obviously, from thinking about it logically, it'll be via stream. So if you're in a hot spot where you got good Wi-Fi in the hot spot, you can stream Xbox One, Xbox 360, and original Xbox games through the Xbox app, either the Xbox Live app or the Xbox Game Pass app. Now, the cons of that: if you're in an area that has no good Wi-Fi and you didn't bring none of your Switch games with you, the device is useless. So that's one of the cons of it that a lot of people aren't really thinking about. And so let's talk about Nintendo Online. Now, right now, Nintendo Online is really sucky. It has no incentives for you to continue paying the membership fee every year or every 3 months or every month, however you choose to pay for the subscription. You barely can play online. Sometimes you get bad connections. They don't got no dedicated servers for you to connect with other people to play online. So a lot of times the games get dropped. There's no cool games that come with it like Microsoft or Sony. So Nintendo Online is undesirable. And I think them partnering with Microsoft can teach them how to make a more desirable online experience. So that's a pro. Microsoft will be helping them improve their online service. Now, let's talk about Microsoft and the cons, because if they're putting the Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass on the Nintendo Switch via app, every first party game that comes out from Microsoft, every third party game that's big and that big and a lot of people love and it gets old and it goes to the Xbox Game Pass, you'll be able to play it via Switch through the app. So that means does that incentivize people not to go out there and buy Xbox consoles? Yes. And that is a con for people that like the Xbox hardware and want Microsoft to continue making hardware. Now, we have to look at it at this perspective as well. Microsoft don't want to be a company that only sells dedicated hardware. They want to move from that. They want to transition from that to being an online service where they can play. You can play their games anywhere, on a phone, on a tablet, anywhere you want to play, and you can stream their games to the device they want you to stream it. So it's idea for the Nintendo Switch to be one of them devices. So it's also a pro with that. And I think that's where Microsoft is going. Microsoft wants to become a service. They don't want to be known for dedicated hardware. They still make a dedicated hardware. That the hardware market is still hot. It's still a profit to be made there, but they want to transition from that to digital distribution and digital services. And that's where a lot of these developers and big companies are going. Sony's going there as well, and Nintendo is going there. Now, Nintendo recently talking about how they want to be known for their dedicated hardware. They want to go beyond that. And I think them partnering with Microsoft, they can teach them how to go beyond that, because Microsoft is in the front runner when it comes to digital distribution and digital services right now. Because Xbox Live have 2 billion users. So Microsoft is getting subscription money from 2 billion people. They're doing really well. And Microsoft is also a big time tech corporation. So the hardware department in the game industry is something that they do for fun, I guess. I mean, something that they don't want to continue doing going towards the future. So that means this will be a good move for Microsoft and a good move for Nintendo as well, because they both are trying to transition from dedicated hardware to more a service based type company. And I think that them collaborating with each other on this is the first step. Now, we haven't heard any concrete evidence, any confirmation that this is going to be happening anytime soon. So it's just rumors, and everyone's just speculating. And there are pros and cons to both. The cons for Microsoft's side is that when are they going to stop putting money aside for exclusives for their hardware? Even though they are trying to transition from a hardware-based type company where they sell hardware to the customers to play their games, they're trying to turn it into a service base where you can pay for their service and play their games on any hardware. But they still got hardware out there. They're still making hardware for fans that want that hardware. They got to start producing new exclusives that people are excited about. A lot of people were excited about Countdown 3. It was delayed twice. It came out, it was mediocre. Everyone was thinking this is supposed to be something different. The multiplayer is supposed to be something amazing. It wasn't. So a lot of Xbox fans are upset with Microsoft because their focus is on things that the gaming community on their side do not want. Let's look at Nintendo. Right now, it's a pro for Nintendo when it comes to Microsoft helping them with their online service. But a lot of people are buying Switch hardware, and they want dedicated games for their hardware, and they want Nintendo to continue making dedicated hardware. How long before Nintendo stop making dedicated hardware for their fans? And this is a con for the Nintendo side. So there's pros and cons to everything, but I think in all, this is a good opportunity for Nintendo and Microsoft to collaborate and to help each other out to go from dedicated hardware companies to service-based companies that service you their games and that you can play their games on any device. I think Nintendo's trying to make that transition as well. I think they partnered with Microsoft because Microsoft is already on the ground floor making steps to make that a reality. So it's something that is exciting, but also sad at the same time because I like dedicated hardware myself. I love my Nintendo Switch because it's a dedicated hardware that I can take anywhere. I don't need Wi-Fi when I go out to the doctor or waiting in line. I can just pop in the cartridge or have it digitally downloaded to my system where I can just play it without having any Wi-Fi. Now, if it comes to a point where Wi-Fi is something that's everywhere, then it wouldn't be a problem. And I think that's the only time that's going to be acceptable in the gaming community, in the gaming industry, is when Wi-Fi is so accessible that no matter where you go in the world, you can get Wi-Fi access. Then a streaming-based service would be ideal for all these game companies in the gaming industry. And I think that's what they're trying to work on. Right now, the technology is not there. I can never say his name. Review Tech USA, Rich have stated it. Dreamcast guy have stated it. A lot of gamers in the gaming community on YouTube have stated that until the technology is up to a part where you can stream games anywhere you want, and there's no lag or no bad spots where there's no good Wi-Fi, and everyone can have access to internet at full speeds, the digital streaming service for games has to wait, and that's why they're still making dedicated hardware. But for those who have good internet, it's something that can be possible that a lot of people prefer. A lot of people don't like going out in the cold, especially in the wintertime, to go get a new AAA game when they can just download it from the store. So the distribution is our future, and Microsoft and Nintendo are collaborating to make sure that they're ready for that new future. And I think it's a positive. There's some cons to it, but the cons are insignificant to the pros that are gigantic in scope because they are something that can help the game industry go further, have more accessibility to far more fans, and it opens up new markets for Microsoft and Nintendo. So it's a win-win for both of them. Even though it's just a rumor, if this rumor comes to fruition, it can be something that can change the game. And I believe that's the reason why Sony is not attending E3 for 2019, because they know what Microsoft and Nintendo are up to. If this is not a rumor, if it's something that's going to happen, and it's just not a rumor, Sony is trying to make a plan to kind of fight back. So I love to know what you guys thought in the comment section below. As always, thank you for staying to the end of the video. Make sure you hit the like button, helps up the channel. Make sure you share, it also helps. And if you want to see more content from your boy Dmac, hit that notification bell and subscribe button to be notified about more content. Stay safe, keep gaming. I'm out. I'll talk to you later.